Welcome back to the Mulberry Book Drop. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Happy December.
Happy December. My favorite.
Oh, it's been a good holiday season.
It has. And a good 2025 for us.
Yeah? Good. Yeah. I'm happy for you. That's good. I do want to give a quick apology and potential warning. Last month you may have heard some weird noises and maybe thought there was something scary in my house, but it was my dog. Norbert was trying really hard to get in the room where we record, and I just felt bad. So we're trying something new, and he is actually laying in here with us right now. So hopefully we won't hear any weird noises. I don't know.
If you hear some clawing, it's probably him. It's fine.
I think he might have sneezed last month or something. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. But, Sarah, how did you do with your New Year's resolutions and stuff?
I can say that I only made one, and I actually did it. And it was book related, and it was just to make sure that I was enjoying the books that I was reading. Because, I've said it last year, I focused so much on quantity over quality. And this year my focus was quality over quantity. And I had some good reads, y'all.
Same.
Yeah, what about you?
Same. I did the same one that you did. And I really worked hard on that. And I, too, was very proud of myself for putting some stuff down.
Yeah.
And then I also accomplished my other silly one, and I made you guys all your birthday desserts, and I don't know. I'm not a shopper, you guys. I hate shopping, and so how do I tell my coworkers how much I love and appreciate them for their birthdays if I don't want to go shopping? And so I was kind of excited that I finished that, but then I was like, now what do I do?
Yeah, guys, Bethany is amazing. So for my birthday, I went on vacation, and I came back, and there was a cake. And I was just and you guys know, I'm a pumpkin spice girly, and that's what she made me. She made me a pumpkin spice cake, and it was homemade. And I just remember you apologizing because you're like, it's not even. And I said, are you kidding me? It was one of the best cakes I've ever had. So, and I also am okay with benefiting from my other coworkers also having birthdays because everything you made was delicious.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
10 out of 10.
We're going to have to figure something out because I was like, maybe I'll let you guys each pick whether it's a dessert or a small meal or maybe I don't know. We'll have to look at some recipes.
Okay.
Because I do enjoy, I like cooking for people who like eating.
Yeah.
So it is nice.
We do. Yeah.
Well, today we are here to kind of talk a little bit about our best reads from 2025. I feel like you and I both had a pretty good year of reading.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. I thought that was a safe thing to say. But just out of curiosity to start us off, Sarah, how many books have you read this year?
So at the time that we are recording this, I am finishing my 65th book.
That's awesome.
Which is actually really low for me. One, number-wise. But two, I don't know what I was going to say with that. But, I just... 65.
But you said quality over quantity.
I did.
And I think that's...
Yeah, I did. What about you?
Same as of this recording. I am at 153.
I'm going to go home. I'm kidding.
No, stop. But you have to remember, 36 of those books is my adult book clubs.
Right.
So, that is legitimately work. I'm reading them. I'm coming up with book club questions and, all of that kind of stuff. So... you could kind of take those out a little bit too if you really wanted. But, and then kind of going on what you were saying before, I looked at my list and I did end up putting down 7 books. There may have been another one, I can't remember, that didn't make my list, but there's 7 definite ones that I had made a little note of that I was I just can't. And, some of them I put a reason why, to remind myself for later in case I'm ooh, that's a fun cover.
Right.
Stop.
Yeah. But I didn't keep track of mine.
Yeah.
Because I know mine's up there.
Yeah.
So.
Do you hear the bird?
That is the bird.
The bird. You guys, I'm so embarrassed. I have a cardinal that is attacking my house, And I don't know if you guys heard that sound, but yeah, it's hitting my kitchen window right now.
Not me thinking that, we're about to be murdered.
No, this is like episode 1. Remember when the bird?
Yeah.
So unprofessional.
The nostalgia.
It really is. And also, I will say this too, in with my number, I got a little obsessed with novellas this year.
Yes, you were.
I did. I really got into like short stories and so, there's one contemporary romance author that I had read a couple of their short stories, and there was like a horror author I had come across that I did one of their short stories. And so novellas, man, there really is a lot packed into those.
Yeah.
So
fun.
Yep. Okay, did you take a look and see who your most read author was?
I did, and I was pleasantly surprised. But I will say that they had series in them.
Okay.
Beth Brower and Elsie Silver.
Oh, okay.
I literally started reading both of these authors this year, and I read 4 Beth Brower and 6 Elsie Silver books.
That's so cool.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
What about you?
New to me was Octavia Butler. I ended up reading 3 books by Octavia Butler. And then because there was a new book that came out this year, as well as some of the novellas, I did Allie Hazelwood. And there was 5 Allie Hazelwood books. So,
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and those, like the novellas for me were perfect because a couple of them I was able to get on audio. And since I was like getting back into running, and like they're like a perfect distraction for like workouts and stuff like that, and they're just that perfect amount of time, which I love.
Yeah.
So, okay. Did you also take a look at like genres or tropes? Like what was your most read genre?
Contemporary.
Okay.
I read a lot of contemporary this year. Western romance and historical fiction.
Okay.
So, and Western romance I just started reading at the end of last year. So, super interesting. And I will say that I've read a lot of the Beth Brower books were all journals.
Oh, yeah.
They're all journals. So that was different for me. So what about you?
So according to the Storygraph, my most read genres were contemporary, literary, and memoir. Because you guys know I love my memoirs. But I will tell you the one that really surprised me, because I don't think I've ever seen that bar on the graph so far across before. I really got into horror.
Look at you.
I know. I don't love gore. I like the story. I like the suspense. And I have to say, I found a couple of authors this year, mostly in October. I actually really went into it in October. But there was a lot of story to them, and they were so much fun, and they were just unlike any story I have ever been told. So I was really surprised. So we'll see if there's more next year, or if I already got it out of my system. I'm not sure where this is going to go. But yeah, that was a really big surprise for me.
I like that.
Okay, so Sarah.
Yeah.
I also need to know, before we get into our book titles, how is your book bracket going?
Oh, how's my book bracket going? I will say that it's actually really hard this year for me, because I have read so many good books that it's really hard to choose which book. I still have a couple lined up for December to finish. And I'm like, oh no, what is it going to be? What is it going to be? Like, this is probably the first year in a couple years that I don't know, like, what's going to win.
That makes me so excited.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I've read some really good ones this year.
Yeah.
That I'm like, which, obviously, like, nothing's going to happen if I'm like, I couldn't pick.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I love that I can't pick, because so many of them are so good.
Good job, authors.
Yeah, exactly. What about you?
It's going really well. I have to say, there is a couple on mine that I wasn't expecting to put on it.
Yeah.
But the ones that are slowly winning out, I'm not necessarily sure that they're a surprise to me at this point, just because even like thinking back on them right now, I'm like, oh yeah. Like, so I think I picked the right ones for the beginning of the year that I was kind of moving in there. So we're going to see what happens by the end of this month. I don't know who's going to win.
This is fun.
I know. So if anyone is not familiar with what we're talking about, we do have a adult challenge book bracket that is available at our Mulberry Library. You can always swing by and pick one up if you want to try and get yours filled out real quick. They do have to be handed in by the end of December though. So as of when this podcast drops, you're only going to have a couple weeks if you haven't already done it. If you have yours at home, make sure it's filled out, get it ready to bring in and drop off to us. And also, we just want to make sure you guys know, I am still in the process of creating it, but it is in the works. There will also be a 2026 adult reading challenge coming. So the fun has not ended. We've been having a good time with these, and I love them. Different from all the other ones we've done. Okay. So we're keeping it new, keeping it fresh. Okay. Yeah. So I'm excited. Okay. Sarah. Yes. I need to know. Mm-hmm. Give me your first best book of 2025.
Oh, it was so hard because I was like, obviously, I can't write all of them down, but it was hard picking them. But I'm just gonna, start. The first one is The Memory Collectors by Dete Meserve. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I rated it 4 stars out of 5, but it's one of those books that I can't stop thinking about. And it's not at all what I was expecting, but like in the best way. The way that the author just intersects all the characters. It was so interesting. And I teared up several times. There were so many emotions to unpack. And then when the question comes up for me, do I regret anything in my past? And my answer is usually no, because the choices and the decisions that I have made have helped shape me into who I am today. But I often think about, what if I had made a different choice? Where would I be now? Not out of regret, but curiosity. So yeah, the characters can't change the future in this book, and they're kind of like time travelers, but it does help people look at their past memories in a new light and a new perspective. So it's just, there are a lot of books. I read a lot of time travel stuff this year. Yeah. I just realized that.
And you did the Taylor Jenkins Reid book too, right? Mm-hmm. That had the, yeah.
Yep. A lot this year. Yeah. And it's just, I love books that I can read and take it in, but then I think about later on down the road of, I didn't necessarily get anything like educational out of it, but I didn't need to, but I'm like, oh, and like this year I read a lot about like people's choices and where it leads them, and it's really cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of books out there though that can kind of help us slow down and get perspective and just make you, reflecting on things. That's cool. Yeah. Okay.
What's your first one?
So my first one is Kindred by Octavia Butler, since I already mentioned Octavia Butler. I liked this book so much that I went on and read 2 more, obviously. But she is a truly wonderful writer. This book was published in 1979. And if I had not known that fact, I would not have actually considered it while reading the book. Like, it really felt like a very present day author to me. And I know to some people 1979 is not that long ago, but if you have read the book or you ever read the book, you'll kind of understand. It really it has a very contemporary feel. So I was just very surprised by that, especially because this one also is a time travel book. Oh. So our main character is like, present day in the 70s, but then all of a sudden like, whoa, and then you're back in the South on a plantation, and it's an incredible story. And I was completely sucked into it. So, and as I stated this in my review, this book was the longest resident on my TBR list. What was I waiting for? Oh. Yeah. I actually think that this may have been on my to be read list, like, since I had joined Goodreads. Like, wow. I feel like it was on there from forever ago. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. So I loved it. This book had love, danger, time travel. Like, it was just a little bit of everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
It was really good. Okay, what's your next one?
All right. The next one is The Names by Florence Knapp. I rated it 5 stars, and I absolutely loved it. And another book that I'll be thinking about for a long time. I have never really read anything like it before, and the author wrote this story, and she really wrote 3 different stories, and it was so beautifully heartbreaking. There's love, loss, healing, and a lot of stuff in the book, like, I could kind of relate to, just because I watched my mom go through a lot of stuff as like when I was a kid. But for an author to be able to write 3 different storylines through the whole book, I'm like, my brain can't process that, and I'm like, wow. And again, it's another one that one person's choice, how can it affect someone else through their entire life? So, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Like, what?
It was really well done.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
But yeah, that what if question.
That what if? Mm-hmm. All right, what about you?
Okay, my next one, I think I mentioned this previously as a what are you reading now? But it's called The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Ogawa. And I still feel comforted when I think about this book. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what it was. There's like a whole found family aspect, caring for others, kind of meeting them where they are and offering what they need. I just absolutely love the relationships between the people in this book. And this was another one, it wouldn't be like a novella or a short story, but like it was a small book. Like I feel like it was less than 200 pages. Like it was a little one. And I even recently learned that it was made into a movie called The Professor's Beloved Equation. And it's a Japanese film from 2006. So I'm going to see if I can find it because I feel like I need to give that a go as well, just out of curiosity. But it was a beautiful story, just, being there for somebody else and, what we can give to each other and learn from each other. And I loved it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, what's your third?
My next one, I think I mentioned it. I read it, actually. It was the one book I've ever read on vacation.
Oh, yes.
And that was The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah, 5 stars. And, of course, I said my review back then. I'll say it again here because it's literally one sentence, or a question in a sentence. Am I currently sitting in the library on a cruise ship crying after finishing this book? Yes. Yes, I am. I loved it. I love the way that it made me feel. I love the family aspect of it, the friendship aspect of it, the just, trying to help when you feel like you can't help in a helpless situation, kind of thing. I loved it.
Do you think you'll go see the movie?
Oh, yeah. Am I going to take a box of tissues with me too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I just learned today? Because I'm listening to that memoir.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, I'm listening to Alison Stoner's new memoir. I think I said her name correctly. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the movie I Am Sam with Dakota Fanning?
Mm-hmm.
Dakota couldn't do some of the voiceover stuff, after the film was made. And so they had a couple people try out. And Allison was the closest to her voice. And so she actually has a couple of uncredited, kind of background noise voiceover things that were meant to be Dakota's character.
Wow.
And I thought that was really fascinating.
Yeah.
And I say this because the Fanning sisters are supposed to be in the Nightingale movie. So that's how that all ties together, guys. Sorry, my brain.
Yeah, I want to see it so bad. I'm very excited for it.
Very cool.
What's your next book?
Okay, this one was such a surprise to me. It's called Tilt by Emma Pattee. It's Pattee. I have never been so stressed out and so hopeful over what is, in essence, a day. So in this book, you have to imagine that you're pregnant, you're in some IKEA type store, and then an earthquake happened and you're trapped, and how do you get home? And I was so completely all in on this book. I don't know what it was about the writing, but I was just sucked in from that very first chapter. It has a very dystopian feel, even though it's set in a very modern, real world, present day, could totally happen situation. But it is an exploration of grief and relationships. And I just thought it was so well done. And I was really surprised when I was kind of coming up with my list and I was looking over some of my stuff. I had not originally marked it as this, but it was a debut.
Oh.
And I love
my
debuts. And I fixed it on my Goodreads. It is now listed as part of my debut shelf. I'm really curious to see if they're going to write something else and what it'll be.
Yeah. You said trapped in an IKEA type store. That is my worst nightmare. That is absolutely my worst nightmare.
Well, and when the earthquake happens, she's in the warehouse part of it because you know how you take the tag and so she's in the part where all of that stuff is on the shelves so just to give you an idea of why my blood pressure just went up and I was oh my goodness, it was good.
Oh no oh, I can't. This next book is really going to make you happy. It's The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. 5 stars. 5 stars. Anyone that has read this book, I think, has given it 5 stars that I know. The book hits close to home, And the author wrote this book with such tenderness. It was heartbreaking, but you also feel hope while reading it. And I cried. You cried. We all cried. It was a cry fest.
Somebody checked it out yesterday, and I said, I don't know if you're an emotional reader, but make sure you have tissues. And she goes, I do have emotions when I read. And I said, okay, because I cried for 60 pages.
And she was like, oh, okay. I'm excited. Yeah, what a book. What a book.
It was good.
And I don't know if it's a debut or not, but...
That I don't recall. I'd have to look it up.
Maybe like her second or third book. But I was like, man, I didn't really know what I was getting into. And it did not disappoint.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Yeah.
It was good.
Do you have another one?
I do. There is a author. I had used one of her books for a book club a couple years ago, and it is a book that still holds a space in my heart. And I was just cleaning up our fiction section and was like, I didn't know they had another book. I don't know how I missed this one.
Yeah.
But it's called Eddie Winston is Looking for Love by Marianne Cronin. And this book was pure comfort fiction.
Aww.
It's another short one. It's probably only a little over 200 pages. But I just completely devoured it almost in one sitting. Intergenerational friendship. It was filled with hope. And Eddie is like 90 years old, if I recall in the book, and he's never been kissed. And then he's like the sweetest character, and he starts up a friendship with Bella, who had lost the love of her life, and she's 24. And then when she learns that Eddie is just this like hopeless romantic, she just decides like he deserves to be loved. And so it kind of kicks off like her trying to help him, but also their friendship. And
That's so sweet.
It was adorable. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. I still get the warm fuzzies from it.
Yeah.
It was so cute. Eddie. Okay, what's your last one?
My last one, we're going to take it all the way back to January, which was, I believe, the first book I ever finished, which is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I don't know. We'll put it in the show notes. 5 stars. I love this book. I fell in love with the characters. I felt like I grew up alongside of them. The way the author wrote it, and it was about friends, and it was about video games, but it was about so much more. Love, loss, friendships, heartache. I put in my review that I'd be thinking about this book for a while, and here we are 11, 12 months later, and still thinking about it. It was for sure. I started off 2025 with a bang, and that was a bang.
It's a big book, too.
It is. And it was so good. And I think someone read it after me. It might have been my aunt. And she was like, I didn't think I would like that. And I said, right. So good.
But it falls into that category of, like, when you know, like, something that the book is about, and you're like, but I don't like that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you read the book and you realize, but it's not about that thing.
Right.
So, like, we've had the conversation about, like, the book that's about the hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hockey's fine, but, like, it's not just about hockey.
Mm-hmm.
The tennis book.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you telling a patron the other day.
Uh-huh.
You're like, I know, like, the character's a tennis player, but, like, it's about, like so much more than tennis. And, like... it's one of my favorite books by her. And
so good.
And yeah, so I think this, because, the video game aspect, I think for some people is like, oh, I don't know if I care about video games. And it's like, but it's the relationships and the,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
And
so
it's
much
just
more.
video games just kind of intertwines in it.
Yeah, it's like a small thread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your last one?
Sarah, guess what my last book is?
I have a guess, but I'll let you say it.
Black River Orchard by Chuck Wendig.
Y'all.
I can't
just
this
wait.
Book. Okay. You know how I mentioned that I kind of got into horror? This book is probably the reason why. I have a newfound respect for the horror genre. I really do. I didn't think it would ever happen to me, but for some reason in October, I tried a couple of just random titles, and like there are some really imaginative authors out there. And what this author managed to do on an apple orchard, I can't even. I immediately read another one of his books. I followed him on Instagram. He does these apple a day posts.
Stop it.
Yes, where he snacks on an apple, tells you what type of apple it is, where it's from, and then just some of his other random thoughts. And some of them are very amusing. I told multiple friends about this book, and there might be 5 now, that all have read it and reviewed it, all also gave it 5 stars and went on to read more of his books.
And someone else just picked it up the other day from your recommendation. She put it on hold, as did her sister. And guys, they're going to have a whole separate book club just for this book.
It was unlike anything I've ever been told before. Like, this story was so incredible and wild, and it is hands down in the running for best book of 2025 for me. I still have to see what else I finish before the month is over, but this is way up there. Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah. And I will say, I, at one point, had to do a little bit of a hybrid read with this one because it is also a very large book. Like, this author's books all tend to be high 300s, maybe in the 400-something pages. And this was the one that I ended up getting the audio. And so I skipped to, like, where I was in the book. And I, like, listened to a couple of chapters while I was working on some other stuff. And at one point, Sarah was like, I was trying to record you because...
I sure was.
I'm sitting here listening to this book and I'm like, oh, what? Oh, no.
Ew.
No. I mean, every word that was on that page, I could picture it, I could feel it. And I think that's what I loved so much, was that the writing style just, I mean, I didn't even have to try to imagine. It was all right there for me. Like, I was like so in it.
That's a good book.
It was a great book. Yeah.
Y'all, she's smiling ear to ear.
I am. I want to go read another one of his books now. This was so fun, Sarah. Thank you.
It was. 2025, book-wise, great year for both of us.
Yeah. I did try to... I got a little sucked in at the beginning of the year with, like, some of the book talk and, like, the influencers. And I was a little disappointed by a couple books.
That was me last year, so I get it.
Yeah. And so then I tried to, like, okay, slow down, step back, and think about what you really want to read.
Yeah.
And so then I started looking more like that. So even, like, Goodreads, even that, for instance, sometimes the recommendations based on, like, what you're reading or maybe, like, a particular shelf you have. Like, one of our coworkers and I last night, like, the last couple minutes we had... we both opened our Goodreads to see what was recommended, and both of us were like, no.
What else did you say with that?
Yeah, we were like, none of them fit. Oh, yeah. The one that I showed you?
Yeah, and she goes, and our coworker goes, what in the Sarah? And I said, that's me.
But, you know, sometimes some of these algorithms, they don't always know, like, you or where you are right now or what you're truly looking for. And so I had to remind myself to step back. And I'm really glad I did, because I ended up finding some really strange and wonderful things.
Exactly. I mean, you picked up a whole new genre this year.
I did.
So look at that.
I love it. Okay. Well, this was a great time, and I appreciate it. But I do have to know.
Okay.
What are you reading right now?
So, I was reading number 4 last month. This month, I'm reading The Gingerbread Bakery by Laurie Gilmore. It's number 5 in the Dream Harbor series.
I have to ask you.
That was not on purpose. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No. Is this a series that you printed the map for yourself the other day?
Oh, I didn't print it out, but I did pull it up on the computer because I'm reading it on my Kindle. We do have the books in the system, but I did Kindle for this one, and the map is too small, and I'm like, where are all these, like, stores and shops to each other, like, on the road? So...
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. So, and it's, like, the book is, each book is a different shop. So, like, a different shop owner. But, like, of course, like, all these shop owners are all in, like, their late 20s, and I'm like, okay, it's super unrealistic. First off, it's a Hallmark town. So, super unrealistic. You know, we're in a small town. Nothing like that. And so, I just enjoy them.
It is a creative way to tie your series together, though.
For sure, because normally it's, like, siblings and stuff, or, like, the friends. And so then by the third book, I said, oh, we're not, it's never who I assume is next, which is really interesting, and I don't mind it.
That's so cute. Okay, what's the title of that one again?
So that one is The Gingerbread Bakery.
Okay.
So what are you reading?
I am reading Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris.
Okay.
This book has been, well, not the book particularly, the author. I have a list of authors that I'm like, at some point if I run out of stuff to read, I need to try one of their books because people love them and I'm just a curious person and I want to see like what the hype is all about. And you remember the other day when I finished a book and I didn't have a book with me?
Yeah, it was so weird.
And then I like started stressing out. So for any of you who think that Bethany doesn't get book slumps, I was in a funk and poor Sarah was trying to help me and she would hold up a book and I was like, ugh, no.
Every book,
I did.
Might I add? I said, wow, wasted my time. Thank you.
So then I was like, well, I'm just going to randomly order the first one in this series and see. So it's the first book in the Sookie Stackhouse series. And they did make it into a TV show. I'm told from several people that the TV show is a little bit more than like what the books are. And I'm just having fun with it. I'm kind of like, I don't want to overthink it. I just want to be entertained situation.
Right.
And the way the characters are written and like the way they kind of talk a little bit, like I've definitely laughed out loud a couple times. But this sort of was bumped to the top of my list because I don't know if you remember when we had the book sale back in like September, I think, and there was a gentleman who had bought the series that like any of the books we had for it. He purchased them all, but we didn't have the full series. Mm-hmm. And so he kept coming in and be like, well, now I need the next three because you guys didn't have it. And he read the entire series from start to finish. And I just thought, well, if that guy can get that sucked in, like there's got to be something there, right? Like I'm going to give it a try, and it is kind of fun. So it may end up being like one of my in between. So we'll see how I feel when I finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Stepped out there. All right, Sarah, where can they find us?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, or you can email us at themulberrylibrary@gmail.com. We would love to hear what your top books were this year. I feel that rhymed. But yeah, we love it. We read some good ones. We want to hear about what you read and what you loved, or what you didn't love. We also love to hear that. So with that,
happy reading, Mulberry.